Ask Tom on Home Show.
Dustin from Bobville, Texas, needs some stripper tips.
Well, it's not what you're thinking, Tom. It's about these poles, and it's not for they're not for dancing either. Okay, Dustin writes, it's not a stupendous edifice, but it is what it is. And what he wants is your advice on using strippers on these posts because, as you can see, they're kind of all over the place. He wants them smooth. What's your advice?
Well, they're going to have all those knot areas where the branches came out, so you can't just start sanding them. So a stripper is by far the way to go. And probably some of the more popular strippers that are more gentle to use on something like that is some of the strippers that have a citrus base. Most of them they'll be orange in color, and they work very well. It's you use the same kind of product, not exactly the same, but the citrus-based grease cleaners in car work. And so they make strippers out of it too that won't hurt plants or grass or other things. But be careful, if it hits the deck, it'll stain it. So make sure if you're stripping those poles that you don't let it fall onto the deck material that it's sitting on top of. So make sure you protect that. But that's what I would do. And then light sanding, but not heavy sanding, because you want to keep that rustic look. And once you get it all done, and it's going to take some time and several coats and try some different products, but I think the citrus-based products will work. Then you're going to have to reseal it or stain it if you want to stain color, and then reseal it with something good to protect it.
When you say protect the deck on there, by the way, you're talking about like putting down some plastic, maybe taping it right to the bottom, and
if you think all the little, when you're taking the stripper off, that stuff is really gooey, and it'll fall in blotches down to the floor. So you want the plastic. Plastic will be fine unless it's really caustic stripper. Then you're going to need something more than plastic. But plastic should be fine. Don't use a cloth or a canvas, because it'll eat right through, and the stain will go right through a cloth one. It'll definitely be a plastic, Charlie. You
said use a finer sandpaper when you're doing it, though. You're not talking like a 4X or 4-aught or whatever you call that.
Not a steel wool. You're going to use a sandpaper. If you've got some little areas and you just want to hit them to get that discoloration off, because you've done so much and it's pretty deep, sometimes a little sandpaper will clean it up enough to when you go to seal it, it looks better to you. It depends how pristine this gentleman wants to get. Some people want it looking perfect. But I will tell you this, and I used to tell my clients this, they wanted the hard oak, red oak doors, the mahogany doors, the handrails, and we'd put it all together and make these beautiful wood products, but sometimes the grains were different colors. Sometimes they had different patterns. Wood is not a perfect product. So accept some of the
imperfections,
because it gives it its beauty.
Right. And as does it us, like Tom.
Nice. Okay, fine.
You want a question answered? Go to HomeShowRadio.com. Click on the Ask Tom button. Choose video or written. A lot of people send written questions, as you see, but we're welcome to video ones. And of course, send us a picture too. That helps too. You can send us a picture, and enough of that, and that'll help us answer your question. Sometimes this thing works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, we work, and we put a new one of these up every day. You'll find them on our YouTube channel, Home Show Radio YouTube channel. And of course at HomeShowRadio.com, where you find all of our Home Show pros too.